Hello and welcome to E-MultiSkills video tutorial. In this video tutorial, we will learn what is PG underscore base backup and how to use it, and we will see some of the examples as well. So first of all, what is PG base backup? So we have a couple of backup utilities in Postgre. So we have PG underscore backup, then we have PG underscore backup all, and there is something called as PG underscore base backup as well. So when you wanted to take a backup of a running PostgreSQL cluster, you have to use PG base backup. If I wanted to take a backup of one database at one particular time, or n number of databases, or all the databases, I have to use PG underscore backup or PG underscore backup all. In case I wanted to take a backup which can be used for point in time recovery, that means I wanted to take a backup of the entire cluster of Postgre, then I have to use pg base underscore backup, so that all the files which are there in the cluster, they will be backed up. So this kind of backup is mainly useful for log shipping or streaming replication, or you have to create a standby database, or in case you wanted to restore your database at a one particular point of time. So when you take a PG underscore base backup, it is a binary backup of your database cluster files. This cannot be used for the single database. In fact, this is used for the entire cluster only. So who can take the PG based backup? So any user who is having the a super privilege, let's say the super user or the Postgre user who is having the super user privilege, can take the backup, or you have to create a user which have the permission to take the backup. And when you configure the PG base backup, you need to modify pg underscore hba.conf as well, so that the replication connection can be allowed. Although there is, in case you just wanted to take a base backup, you don't need the replication, but this is required, and in the demo we will see how to do that. So most of the time when you do it either for taking a point in time recovery purpose for the data entire cluster, or you have to create the standby databases. So what is the usage? The usage is pg underscore base backup, and then you have a number of options. So we'll see what are the different options. So you have something called as pg base backup underscore d. That means you define the directory or the location where the backup will be stored. So this receives base backup into the directory. Then you have -f, which says which format you want it to take. There is P and T. P stands for the plain text, that means you can read it, and T stands for the tar. The file will be tar in the Unix format. So you have something called as -x, which means do you want the val files as well, which is required for your recovery. Val is so in one of the tutorial we have explained about it what is val. So this is required for your recovery, and it has all the information. Val is nothing but it is write ahead log. So you have -x. -x small is whether you wanted to take a backup of val files, then in what mode you wanted to take it. Either you say fetch or the stream. When you say fetch, after the backup, all the files will be fetched of val, and stream when you wanted to take when you configure a standby database, that means continuously you wanted the val files to be shipped across. Uh, you can zip that as well. So -z is used to compress the tar output. So this will help you to save some storage. -z it tells to what extent you will be able to compress. So compression algorithm will be applied. The value lies between 0 to 9, 0 being not compressing, and 9 is the highest. So most of the time when it is a big database, you want it to the database size is more, or the cluster overall cluster size is more. You want it to use the compression level, but make sure that this compression is done during the off business hours, or it is going to take a lot of CPU from your system. Then you have -l, which will set the leveling for the database. Let's say I wanted to say daily uh, PG base backup, or weekly or monthly. So you can level it and you can read it later. So -p stands for the progress. In case you wanted to see if it is a database size is more, you would like to see how it is progressing. So you can mention -p. So it will show how much it has been backed up and what is the way it is going. Then you have -verbose. So when you fire PG base backup and the backup, you don't see any kind of output. You just press enter and it will come out, and you don't know whether it has happened or what was the progress. So you can use -v, which is verbose. So on the screen it will show you how it is moving. Then you have -version, that will show you the version information. Then if you wanted to take a BG base backup from remote server, then you have to mention where your instance is running. So you have to mention --host equal to the IP address or the host name of the PostgreSQL server. Then the port, if it is a default port, it is fine. If it is non-default, then you have to mention the port number as well. And in case you wanted to see the time interval status packet which is sent to the server, you can mention -s. And if you are using if you are using a user other than Postgre, which should be used because Postgre is not supposed to be used for such operations. Once in a while you can use that, but if you have to configure a backup, then you have to use a different user. So in our demo, we'll see that. -w, it will now not prompt for the password, which is not good. We will use the password, so we have to use -w, which will forcefully allow us to input the password. And I think this is more than enough about the introduction, and now we will see how the demo is going to work. So I have a Postgre server which is running on 192.168.1.61 Linux system, and I have a Postgre 12 running on it. So let me show you that. Sudo systemctl status PostgreSQL 12, and I'm logged in as Postgre. We'll see what are the different steps. So in the prerequisite, what we will do is we will create a role which will take the backup of the entire cluster. Then using create username with the password, and in the encrypted format will give the password. Then what we have to do is we have to add that particular user in pg_hba.conf file to allow the backup. So that will give the host replication, because there is no database with the name replication, but this will be used either for the replication or taking backup of the entire cluster, and the username followed by the IP address from where you wanted to take backup, and then subnet. Then we wanted to enforce a password prompt, so this will do that. Then we have to we will check that whether it is entered properly or not. Then we will reload the configuration. Then we will fire the backup. So let's log into pSQL prompt. So you can see I'm already logged in as to the prompt. Okay, I have already created a user with the name replication user. So let me drop that. Drop role replication_user. Yes. The first step is we'll create a user. So we will say create user, replication underscore user with the replication. With replication means this will have the replication privileges associated with that, and then we will give a password. So this is a demo, that's why I have given the password as password only, but that should not be the case. And just say du, and it will show you the role which is created. So we have created the role replication underscore user, and as a prerequisite, this should have the privilege of replication. So it is having that. In the next step, what we will do is we will add this role to pg underscore hba.conf so that backup it has the ability to take the backup. So let me go to pg data. Uh, so I'll exit of this prompt and we'll say vi and pg data, which is the base directory, then pg underscore hba.conf. Scroll down to the bottom and we have something called as replication privilege. So you have to add in this section. So it should be like this: host, then database. You can see it is under the section database, but there is nothing like replication database. This is required because this should have the replication privilege. Then the username. The username is replication underscore user. Then the IP address is localhost only, but if you wanted to have it from many other servers, then you have to give the range of the IP address, and then I'll give MD5. And I added this earlier as well, but just to show what are the different entries we put. So we'll have to give host, then replication. That means it has the privilege of replication. Then the username, then the IP address or the range of the IP address, subnet, then the what authentication method. So we will give MD5 over here. Now after that you have to reload this. So we'll say uh, okay, PSQL-C, select pg reload underscore conf. Just reload this. Yes, this is done. Now what we will do, we'll see a basic demo wherein we'll say pg base backup hyphen u replication user hyphen d, and the let me show you the pg underscore base backup hyphen hyphen help. So you can see that pg base backup takes a backup of a running PostgreSQL server. And what is the usage pg underscore base backup hyphen options? Then we have hyphen d, which stands for you mention the directory location. Then hyphen f, you mention the format, whether it is plain or tar. Hyphen r, you mention the rate at which the transfer has to happen. Then you have table space mapping in case you wanted to map it. Then you have the location of the val directory. Then what kind of val method it has to extract, whether it has to fetch or it has to stream, whether you wanted to zip the backup file, or to what extent you wanted to compress it 0 to 9. Then you have, these are the basic stuff, like you do the checkpoint, otherwise it will do it automatically. You create the slot, it create slots when it starts. You set the label, and you you set the if you say hyphen progress, this will show you the progress. Or the connections options are if you are doing it from a remote server, you just say the host name, the port number, then you mention the username, whether you wanted the password or no password, so everything will be mentioned. So let's perform the first demo. So we wanted to use this particular location as our destination for the backup. So let's go to this location and remove if there is any data. There's nothing. This should be on by the current user. My current user is Postgre. And we'll say pg base backup hyphen u. The username is replication underscore user and hyphen d and the destination. So this is a very basic uh, backup of PG base backup. Just press enter and this will prompt for the password of replication user. So we mentioned password as password only. And it is happening in the background. If you go to this location, you will see that the files are backed up now. So these are the different files, and this is the same file which is there in data. So let me open one more session and I'll just say sudo su space minus postgre and I'll do cd dollar postgre data. This will take me to the default data directory location, and if I do cd to this location, you will see there are so many files. So if I say ls-ltr and count the number of files, you have 27 files. And when we took the PG base backup, you can see everything is here. So if I say ls-lrt wc-l, you can see almost equivalent number of files are there. So if you see pg underscore val is here, and if we go here, so you can see pg underscore val, pg underscore two phase, pg underscore two phase. So whatever was there in the data directory, everything including the configuration file. So this location is my backup location where we have just taken the PostgreSQL backup in the text format. Right, so everything is here as it is. It has taken the backup of pghb underscore conf. It has taken the backup of postgre.auto.conf. It has taken the backup of postgresql.conf and everything. pg back underscore version, pg underscore table spaces. So everything it has taken. So that's the advantage of using pg underscore base backup. It takes backup of everything along with the val, which is write ahead log as well. So we saw that pg underscore val, if you include that, it will take that as well. So here it is. If you do cd here as well, it will show you it has taken the backup of that as well. Now let's do one more um, backup, where in what we will do, we will tar it. We will take a tar backup. So let's go to cd and let's remove everything from here. The backup which we had taken rm minus rf, and we have deleted the backup now. Just say ls-ltr. There is nothing, and this is the backup location. What we will say now is pg base backup, the utility name, hyphen u, username, hyphen d, the destination, and then these. Okay, I was supposed to show you the progress as well. So let me execute the backup once again using the same command. So pg base backup hyphen u username hyphen d directory. So this was if you don't mention anything, so this is going to be the default text base backup. If I say just hyphen v verbose, so this will show you the backup status on a screen as well, like what's going on. So if you see that it is initiating base backup, writing for checkpoint to complete, checkpoint completed. So when you see this, I think it makes more sense instead of just you press enter and it gets completed. So let's remove the file over here. So I'll just remove everything from this directory. Now in the second mm, demo, what we will do, we will perform pg base backup hyphen u username hyphen d directory, then hyphen f, that is the format. If you wanted to use text format, you can do that, or you can take the tar back, sorry, it is tar backup only. The first one was hyphen plain formats. If you don't mention, that will be plain. So this one we are going to take tar backup hyphen z. We are going to zip this hyphen p. This will show us the progress as well. So just press enter and feed in the password. So you can see it is showing you the percentage as well. If you wanted to make it more, what do you see, the informative, let me remove it once again, rm minus rf. You can see that there is base dot. So it has taken the two backup. One is base backup, another is for the wall files, which is write ahead log file. So it has taken it in two different zip folders, zip. Yeah, a zip file. So let me remove everything from this location. Now what we will do, we'll fire everything same with the hyphen verbose. Feed in the password, and you can see that along with the percentage, it is showing on what is going on. Although though it is a very small database, but in the bigger environment you will be able to see the difference, like what all is going on, and with what speed it is moving on. The hyphen p is for the progress only. And if you wanted to do it from a remote server, you can do it. You mention the hyphen h, the IP address or the host name, then you mention the port name also, so you can do that way. This is just a basic introduction and how to use the PG based backup. So what we did is we created a user. So just a recap. First we created a role replication underscore user, and we given it the replication privilege. Then the second important step is you have to add that replication underscore code user in pg underscore hba uh, pg underscore hba dot conf, so that it can take the backup. So that will be in the last option where replication is mentioned. So host, this is not the database name, but this is the privilege. Then this is the username, which is replication underscore user, and then from which IP address. If you wanted to give take it from the other, you can mention the IP address of that, and then PG MD under MD5. That is, it will prompt for the password. Then we reloaded the configuration. Then we took the backup, and there are different options which we have discussed. I hope this is going to help, and mostly this is helpful when you do restore the point in time restoration on the same server with the WAL files, or onto the different server when you create a standby database, a standby server, or a streaming replication. So in those scenarios, it is useful. I hope it is going to help, and thanks for watching.